Hey guys, we're back out at the hide again today for kind of like a how-to video. I've had a few people ask about barrel break-in, and I'll be honest with you, for the most part I don't do it. As you guys know, I shoot a lot of Savage rifles. They claim to be broken in from the factory and you don't need to break the barrel in. I know some guys swear by doing it, some guys swear by don't doing it, but either way, one of the ones that does recommend it upon purchase is Howa, and I do like Howa rifles, but we're going to go over a barrel break-in procedure, kind of give you guys an idea of what I do, and kind of like what Howa recommends. I know a lot of guys kind of tend to run something similar to this procedure, and you know, personally I think the jury's out. Does it really work? I don't know. Honestly, I'm not even going to lie, but you know, kind of makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside since you did break it in. The theory behind it makes sense, but you know, it's probably to each of the shooter to make up their own mind. But we'll go over the actual procedure. It's really simple. It's fairly time consuming. I'll stop the camera intermittently so you guys don't have to watch all of it, but to give you guys an idea and a rundown of the actual procedure, let you guys know how it's done. But you basically just start off, you want to start off with 20 rounds of just a factory loaded ammo. It doesn't have to be anything special. I just got a cheap box of 223 American Eagle. And you're going to start for the first 10 shots. You're going to do one shot, then you're going to clean with an ammonia based solvent, or I just use standard ammonia, and it seems to work pretty good. But you just fire a shot, you're going to run a soaked patch, and you're going to keep running patches until it gets clean. And the idea, the main point behind this is doing this and taking enough time to where the barrel does not warm up. So we're going to fire one shot down at the, I use it to side in, but at whatever you want. So we'll fire one shot, and then we'll pop the bolt, and then we'll clean. Okay. So now that we've popped our first shot, we're going to take and remove our bolt from the gun. Take a patch, we're going to soak it in whatever solvent you're using. Stick it on your jag, and then run it through the bore. And again, like I said, take your time. The idea behind this is to not warm up the barrel. And one thing to keep in mind when you're doing this, especially on a precision gun, let me grab the camera here and show you. Be careful when you're pulling your jag back out of your bore. So like I've got the jag sticking out of the bore right now with the patch still on it, but I'm going to take the nasty patch off, but I'm going to help it back in because I don't want to pull that back and risk damaging that crowning on the barrel. So I'm just going to lightly push it back in and make sure that none of that metal comes in contact with that crowning on the end of the bore. By doing that, you can actually mess up how your gun shoots. So just keep that in mind whenever you're running patches through your gun. But let's I'll set the camera back down and show you guys what I'm talking about here. But and again, like I said, take your time, but we're going to take another patch and do the same thing. And you're just going to keep doing this for the first 10 shots. Push it through. And then I always get up, like I mentioned, making sure that the end of the cleaning rod doesn't come into contact with the barrel crown. And then I'm going to push a dry patch, clean that off. And then take that off, and that looks pretty good. Now, we're ready to load up another round in the chamber and fire. Okay? So, again, like I said, this is where it kind of gets a little time consuming. Then we'll fire. fire. Now we're going to pull the bolt back out again, and we're going to continue that procedure now 8 more times. And like I said, I'm going to pause the video so you guys don't have to watch all of it, but that's essentially what you're going to do for the first 10 rounds. Okay guys, I've went through the first 10 rounds, shooting one shot, then pushing soaked patches and clean patch until it's clean for the first 10. Now, after the first 10, the next 10, we're going to shoot 2 shots, then repeat the cleaning procedure that we just did. So, we're going to take 2 shots, again, just a factory cheap brass case ammo, nothing special. So we'll take 2 shots of that. Now, we're going to go and repeat the same cleaning procedure that we just did for the final 10 shots. So, soaked patch with your aluminum or ammonia-based solvent or ammonia, and we're going to push these until the bore is clean again. Again, take your time. You don't want your barrel to heat up. You want to keep it as cool as possible, making sure that whenever you pull your jag back through, you don't want it to come in contact with the muzzle crown. If you damage that muzzle crown, your rifle will not shoot, or not shoot accurately anyway, guys. So, pushing the patches. Again, like I said, until you start to see them clean up. And whenever you're doing this, be prepared to go through a lot of patches. By the time you're done, you should have a pretty good pile of dirty patches on the ground. So keep in mind that probably best to start with a brand new pack. And you just keep doing this until they come off clean or relatively clean. And then you're ready to start your next 2-shot sequence. And then of course sometimes they fall off the jag and then you got to put them back on. So just like so, and that's pretty clean. So our barrel's still pretty cool. One good thing about the heavier barrel rifles, they take a little longer to heat up, but once they get hot, it takes them a little bit longer to cool down too, so keep that in mind. But so 2 more shots, again the same sequence that we just did. So 2 more. Alright. Now again, we'll do the same thing that we just did, and our barrel's starting to heat up just a little bit, so probably going to take a little bit longer to do this sequence. But like I said, guys, this is, you know, not really recommended by all manufacturers. Like I said, Savage doesn't do it. Howa is one. It even comes with it in the box saying that you should do this. I mean, it's definitely open to interpretation and to what you guys feel is best for your particular rifle. But this is the way that I do it. Other guys may have different ideas on how they want to do their break-in, and you know, that's entirely up to them. But this is the way I've always done it. And keep pushing them through. Another wet patch here, and that should probably do it in this sequence. And like I said, I'm using just regular ammonia as my cleaning solvent. Same stuff that you'd get from Walmart, which is actually where I bought mine. And it's, you know, works fine. If you have another ammonia-based solvent or other solvent that you use. That's up to you. But I won't bore you with the rest of the procedure, but as I said, you're just going to continue to do the 2-shot sequence, then clean until your 20-round box of ammo is done. And then theoretically, your barrel should be broke in. Like I said, major points, do it to where your barrel doesn't heat up a lot. You want to keep your barrel cool. Use a lot of patches. Be ready to go through, a full pack. And just take your time. And if this is something that you think you might do, hopefully this gives you guys an idea of the kind of the procedure involved and give you a rough idea of what to do. But if you got any questions on this, feel free to post them up or shoot me an email. And as always, fellas, shoot straight. Later.